Manchester Roosters.
Salford Red Roosters.
Everyone's just talking about Roosters at the moment, so let's get into it. News broke that Nick Politis is considering buying a Super League club and rebranding it as Manchester Roosters if NRL takes over. It's going to be Salford. Nick basically said nothing will happen unless the NRL is involved. We see a lot of potential for the game in England and we want to be a part of it if the NRL is on board. We've seen an opportunity and we will wait to see what happens next. Now, obviously, there's a lot of talk about if Salford went into administration, basically all the debts get wiped off and then pretty much an NRL team will come in and swoop us up. It's pretty clear the owners only really want the land and the stadium. They probably don't want the club, and I feel like they'll end up selling the club anyway, especially right after they've got the land and stadium or a little while after. Now, in the Salford sphere, obviously big arguments have started happening whether you would still support the club if it was rebranded as Manchester. As a Salfordian, obviously, I'd be a bit mixed on the matter because I do love rugby league as a whole, but I'm a proud Salfordian. You know, we are a separate city. So then there was a lot of talk about how they would rebrand. Would they actually name it as Manchester to basically be more marketable? Obviously, Manchester's a bigger name than Salford. That's just pretty much how it is. Obviously, you got Manchester United, Manchester City. Will it be rebranded Manchester Roosters? Well, the best one in terms of names, I definitely put the Salford Red Roosters. I think that one works well. I know, obviously, we've got Salford City Roosters, but that's already basically a community, its own club in Eccles, in Salford. And obviously, this is just all hypothetical. It doesn't mean it's happening. Obviously, this depends whether the NRL gets a stake in Super League, but it seems like NRL clubs are keeping an eye on the situation. It's also very clear as well that Salford's pretty much a cheaper option to invest in compared to someone in Greater Manchester like Wigan or Leigh. You know, they've already got structures set up behind the scenes and that type of stuff. I think obviously for Sydney Roosters, if they came in and obviously bought Salford, there's not really much going on there. Obviously, we've just got our players. In terms of the stadium, we don't really have one or a stake in it yet. Basically, we'll be having a fresh start, but you're taking that fan base, if you know what I mean. So you've already got a fan base there. But obviously, that depends whether you're going to alienate them by, you know, getting rid of Salford in the name. So anyway, we messed around with the kits as well, and these are the kits that came up with. So basically, the sort of Roosters red, white, and blue. But then obviously what we've done is we've made red, white, and blue kits, the home, the away, and then obviously the third kit. See how it looks like with this logo. But this is all hypothetical. What do you think about it? Do you think Salford should rebrand to Manchester Roosters if that was the case? I honestly think it should still say Salford in the name because then you're not alienating the city. You know, we are two separate cities at the end of the day, just under that Greater Manchester umbrella. But yeah, let me know what you think. And yeah, come on Salford Roosters. Come on Salford.